Actually probably going to bookmark that. I've been meaning to
Let's
do a Viva update, so
let's
look out
watch
for
the
that from me.
video. Let's watch
But
the video.
yeah,
Can you try resharing it for audio?
yeah. But yeah, I'm working on a expect.
The flight is over. The mission
on the moon.
Let's freaking go.
The Viva rocket has landed, carrying the blueprint for a self-sustaining digital economy. Everything built so far will now unfold.
I look so freaking clean. That's Bolivia.
One by one, the modules deploy. Commerce, payments, media, and community begin to take root. Each is powered by Viva and connected through Alva's core system. As the systems connect, the surface comes alive. Every action generates data. Every impression creates revenue. Every transaction fuels the token. This is the first functioning digital economy born from a telecom network, powered by real revenue and sustained by participation.
All systems stable, activating modules.
Mission control confirms system stability, revenue inflow consistent, utility cycle engaged, network synchronization complete. The ecosystem is fully operational. What began as a rocket has become a living network. Then the signal left the moon. Across the galaxy, other worlds responded, each one a network ready for connection. The landing is complete. The system is alive. The signal has been sent. This is mission log 3, the beginning of the next era. Viva, powered by Alva, built for the next internet.
Love it. Why don't we go through the tokenomics page pinned on their X account? You can go to their X account, Chill, just to go back in time and kind of just that white paper. Do you mind just opening that real quick? I think that's I don't know if it's they show the phases there.
Yeah. Here is the roadmap. I think I know what you're going after. It is this one.
Yeah. Okay. Can you? I don't know
if we can see that. I can try. I'm zoomed in a lot already. It's not going to zoom in anymore, unfortunately. But
Read
basically,
out
guys,
what it says, yeah.
just to kind of like read, kind of cue you in on exactly what's going on. Phase 1 was launching Viva on Solana. Phase 2 was kind of like the Viva wallet, making that a full in-app integration. And phase 3 was kind of where things, kind of go to the next level. So real world integration, reward exemption, ad revenue buybacks, exclusive perks, and full ecosystem activation. And then phase 4 is expansion to new countries, new partnerships, and advanced features. They've been on our show, and they've talked about expanding to Mexico, to the US, and to other countries around the world, right? So this article, I'm actually going to just look back at it one more time. This article, we are in that phase 3. We are at that point where it's full system, full ecosystem activation. As you can see here, holders are growing over 11,000, holders, with the majority of them are Bolivians, real people, employees, family of employees and friends. And the rollouts are coming. Rollouts have been going on over the past few weeks, which is why, this holder count has been going parabolic. Viva holders, they're able to get 20% APY. That's an insane high yield savings account, right? And they in November, they purchased more than $40,000 worth of Viva on the open market to fuel earned Viva based on user demand and to show the flywheel in motion. All earned Viva for the month was generated by real user activity and funded directly by buybacks from real revenue. We'll continue to buy back whatever is required to support Viva demand inside the app. So basically, the more people that stake, right? The more people that stake, the more people, the more buybacks they'll more Viva they'll buy back off the open market to fund the staking rewards, right? And we know that they're a multi-billion-dollar company, so $40,000 is literally nothing for them, right? On top of that, you also have the fact that this is 11,000, over 11,000 holders. Let's say 7,000, 8,000 of those are Bolivians, because it was like 4,000 holders before. So obviously a ton of holders have come in, and those are likely Bolivians. So let's say 7,000 or 8,000 of those are Bolivians, and yeah, I mean, look, they have millions of people that live in Bolivia. This is only the starting point. This number is just a drop in the bucket as far as what Viva's potential adoption.
Here, I'm gonna toggle just to watch the staking video real quick, just so everyone can see the user experience. So this isn't just like some little feature in an app. This is a core feature of their Alva app with 3.1 million users.
For Viva coins in seconds. Invite your friends and earn with them.
Nice ref system.
Earn Viva coins with your invitation code.
Again, those rewards are purchased Viva on the open market.
Your Viva coins generate earnings automatically. Monitor the currency in real time.
Currency price chart on the app. So I think some other things to know here, and in conversation with Nate, like they get tokenomics. It's not like they're kind of like an oblivious Web2 traditional company kind of be like, oh, we're going to launch a token. Yeah, we'll launch it at this valuation. Like, no, they understand the network effects here. They understand, keeping supply, constrained, not just diluting supply like we've seen with other kind of corporate based crypto projects. So they're doing it in the right way, I think, like crazy. The other part is during the employee rollout. So we had the 40K that just been bought by the staking program that you just saw on screen. The other part of this is during the employee rollout, our Bolivian teams purchased nearly 70,000 USD of Viva. So far what we've seen is $110,000 of open market buy only sell pressure on the Viva token. And we'll show you the Viva chart in a minute. It has really outperformed versus most things during this drawdown. And we'll show it to you in SOL price. And here you go. Viva employees are learning about the Viva token. And Chill, just stop me when you see, bonus club integration. So this is one of the biggest KPIs for Viva is time on app. So they basically in Bolivia, if you download the Alva app, you get internet connection for free. And so they're essentially giving away data or in return, time on app. And the average time on app was like 2.5 hours. So it's significant. And on there, you do live streaming, you get your content, you access the internet, you view ads. And that's the business model, is the ad network. And so the ad network is generating $350 million around that in revenue from users. So they almost generate $1 million a day in ad revenue. And so they're using the Viva token as an incentive for people to, open the app again, go check out the vendor marketplace, go access AI functionality. And again, like ChatGPT, you can't buy that with Bolivianos in Bolivia. So you need to have a certain amount of Viva in your wallet, and you can access things like an AI subscription with their integration with Mikai. And like, honestly, think about your subscriptions today. I think half of people in North America have an AI subscription, at least, to either ChatGPT or one of these. So you can see the stickiness. There's demand here that's beyond just, I want to buy this to hold it. What they're doing and what gets me most excited about this project over a lot of crypto projects is that people might want to buy it or earn it to spend it or to save it. And so I think that's very significant. Sorry, Chill, I went off. We should probably pull a Viva SOL chart up.
Yeah, I got the Viva chart up here.
Actually, maybe also we'll show this. So these are the onboarding. You can see it's kind of lumpy. They have these spikes. And so then they had a major spike here. And what it seems to me is they're throttling wallet onboarding to kind of like let some people in, test out the infrastructure, make sure the user experience, there's no issues. Because if they just like, boom, open the floodgates, something might fail in the system. And when it comes to money, it has to work. So I think this is notable, clear throttling, clear like opening it up a little bit at a time and just making sure things are doing well. Shout out to Ave. Shout out to King's Mentality. Sorry, go ahead, Chill.
Yeah, no, you're good. Yeah, Ave Kings, welcome to the stream, bros. From a USD standpoint, SOL looking still in our red box that we've drawn out. But when you price Viva versus SOL, looking actually pretty strong here. Chart looks really good. But yeah, I mean, basically SOL has been in the same spot. Oops, let's not do market cap. I actually clicked the wrong thing. There you go. SOL's pretty much been in the same spot, consolidating here, very tight. We can even like draw out something like let's see, we can even draw out something like this, right? Little tightening zone here. Actually, let's do boom. Yeah, little tightening zone here happening on Viva. So we can even do something like that. And we can just for a second just take away. So little action here happening on Viva. I actually like the way this chart looks right here. So just a matter of time, boys. Just a matter of time before before we actually see some more price action, some more explosive, I should say, price action happen on Viva. You can't have, onboarding, thousands and potentially tens of thousands over the coming weeks and for that not to do anything to price, right? Especially when they're incentivized to do this because it actually affects their real life in a real way. It's like Viva is kind of like a currency in Bolivia. Something you can use to buy, sell, pay your bills, live your life.
It's a bank. It's a bank, guys.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, this is also half circulating, so only 2.5 million circulating. What is Avicii at? What is Avicii at today?
Probably
100 mil. 100 mil, guys. So Avicii is at 100 mil. And look, I'm not going to compare the two because they're quote unquote neo banks. I think these are different, slightly different narratives. But when you onboard at the level of a national carrier to an entire country, and then you kind of position yourself, hey, now our app is not only a telco, we offer all these services, we kind of are acting like a savings account as well. We're acting like a bank. I just think this narrative, if Avicii could be 100 mil and see, 200K in daily volume, if you start to see those daily kind of spend volumes on Viva around that, I mean, this could reprice and be kind of catch some attention. So this is the one thing is it's like a neobank, but it has the users of like an actual real bank, which is kind of wild.
Yep. So yeah, ultimately setup on Viva still looking phenomenal. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all I got for today.
Are you wearing 7 layers and still freezing your man nipples? You need the new 340 GSM military grade bearskin hoodie to get comfortable in
GM guys, what's happening? Looks like let me bring myself on stage here. There we go. GM guys, that was a short segment with Viva there, and an ad popped up. So sorry about that, but hope you guys are doing well. GICM, GMCG. Got a nice stream here today for you guys. But first, before we even get into anything, man, let's pull up a chart, huh? Let's take a look at some of the action going on in the market. And bang, look at this, guys. We were talking about this yesterday. And job's not done here on this reversal, but so far we're seeing a breakout of the downtrend. Let me actually look at it on this chart, and it'll probably be a little bit better. It'll be you can see it a little better here. So as you can see, we've finally broken that downtrend that we've been talking about. So over the last honestly over the last maybe like week or two, we've been talking about this downtrend for quite some time. I mean, it's been respected for several months, for about a little over 2 months now. So the fact that we're actually breaking out of it is a big deal. So what we want to see from here is a little bit of strength and a little bit of continuation. So let's first just back up here. Let me see before we get too deep into things. And again, GM, I'll be by myself this whole week. So I'll be without Josh. I'll be without Dom. They'll be in Met Dhabi. They're traveling as we speak. But they'll be in Met Dhabi. They'll be doing some live IRL streams, and I'll be here holding down the fort for our streams that we usually do. So this week, basically all trader radio. I have some traders coming on. Today we'll have on one of the homies, Breakbones. Really good Chad, really nice dude. He's been in the markets for a while. I met him actually earlier this year, trading on Solana, trading utility. We kind of are going after the same things, but in some cases, even in different ways. So always good to see how other people are viewing the market, how they're kind of doing things. So that's what you can expect from the show today. Again, not going to be that long of a show, right? We're gonna go through the interview. We're gonna go through some alpha, and then we're gonna take a look at markets and see what the markets are looking like for us. So with that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at Bitcoin. So as mentioned, breaking a serious downtrend here, and honestly couldn't be more excited. Couldn't be more excited. Honestly, at the same time, I don't think that we are finished. You know, I think there's still there's still some things that I want to be cautious of and watch out for. So we'll talk about that here today. But let's take a look. Let's take a look at this chart, the big boy chart here. All right. So when we were talking yesterday, we talked about a few things. We talked about this position that Bitcoin is in. We talked about this bearish supply zone here, this resistance that Bitcoin has been respecting, right? We talked about, a sort of like head and shoulders maybe forming on this, but so far this looks to be invalidated. That head and shoulders, that is invalidated according to what just happened with this massive pump and this massive breakout. Now, what isn't yet invalidated is this bear flag that we see here, and that's the other thing that we spoke about yesterday. So there's two things that I wanted to keep eyes on. Number one, the head and shoulders, and number two, the bear flag. So head and shoulders here invalidated, but bear flag is still possible. You understand? We see that. And as we know, there's been some manipulation. We talked about the manipulation happening on Bitcoin. So just something to be aware of, right? And one thing that I'm going to be watching out for specifically is this downtrend. We have never closed a daily candle. Well, kind of sort of up here, but we've never closed like a full decisive daily candle out of this downtrend since it started back in early October. So over the next 6 hours, I think it's going to be a very, very key time for Bitcoin here, right? We want to see exactly what's going to happen. Is this just going to be a wick, or is the daily going to close out of this? And I've told you guys what I want to see isn't this like choppiness, right? I want to see decisive price action and continuation. That's strength. That's a strong PA. So what I want to see is, now that we're out of here, maybe we consolidate a little bit and then go, and then consolidate a little bit and then go, right? Like that's what I want to see for strong price action. What do I think we'll see according to this candle? Overall, I've told you guys that I still think we spend some time in this green zone down here. I still think we spend some time down here. Why? Simply because of these candles. I mean, the flash crash, the down only afterward with the forced selling by an entity, and I still don't think we V-shape recover. Now, what do I think we might do? Again, it's going to be some consolidation. If we are leaning bullish here, maybe we go up to 100K, test that, but then we come back down late December, test these lows, and then start going up, right? I think retesting the lows, and I know I drew it down here at 86K, but we could even possibly go down as far as 80K. We've talked about that yesterday, but I feel like this is something that we could expect, like a breakout, maybe a potential like retest of this line here at like 86K, retest of the downtrend, and then we proceed to go up. So I'm actually like, I'm going to redraw this a little bit here on a lower time frame, just so that way, because what I want to do is I want to keep this up. for, you know, the next over the next month or so. So if we're breaking out here, I don't mind us doing that, coming down, retesting the lows, maybe even going lower. And then as we get 2026 open, that's when we actually start. That's when we actually start going for higher levels. So that's my expectation here, coming out of this downtrend. Um, and again, if we are breaking this downtrend, I want to see powerful price action, right? Let me actually do this. Current above. Awesome. So if we are going to be looking at this low time frame, I'm going to watch out for the bear flag here still, because again, this is the pattern that's been playing out, is essentially a bear flag. So I'm going to watch for that and make sure that doesn't happen. But now that we've broken above this supply zone here in this red box, what I'd like to do, or what I'd like to see, is continuation. That's it. Continuation. Close above this. Look strong. Don't chop around too much here. I want to see like really explosive price action. But yeah, overall, not really. Either way, I wouldn't be opposed to us actually going back and testing these flash crash levels right here. Actually, let me look at this real quick. Let me see something. My OCD, I needed those letters to be orange as well. Okay. So I wouldn't be surprised again going up to retest these flash crash lows and then coming back down, and maybe potentially, revisiting 80K, 85K here with this SFP low, or even like coming back down. But I don't think this is just like, forever bullish, just up only from here. I think we still have to, I think there's still time. So we're not completely out of the woods yet. So that's what I'm looking for here on Bitcoin. I told you guys yesterday, we're talking about Solana continuing to look strong. Actually, nice little SFP here that I noticed formed last night. And that was that played out perfectly. Other than that, Met is also looking good. We talked about that yesterday as well. We haven't broken out of the this consolidation zone here just yet. But I'm expecting Met Dobby to change that here in the next day or two. So watch out for that. Fartcoin, you guys know that I'm bullish on Fartcoin. Honestly, just waiting for it to slice through this supply zone here, this resistance. Honestly, it's broken the market structure right here at this red line, and it hasn't gone back below since. It's really, I really like this consolidation happening right here on Fartcoin. It literally just looks primed to just slice through this thing and then keep going. Like, it literally, that would be my thoughts on Fartcoin. I wouldn't be surprised to see us do something like that. So Fartcoin looks explosive. Pump here, you guys know that we've been watching Pump for a while. We talked about the breakout retest yesterday. Still hasn't broken the market structure. Still not pumping as much alongside the rest of the market. Actually surprised about that, if you ask me. But let's see if Pump has anything coming out, that could lead to higher prices. Another chart that I'm watching, ETH. We talked about ETH yesterday. It was looking kind of strong, but it didn't really break out. But I did say that last week. Remember last week we talked about Taiki. He went short on Ethereum, and I'm like, this is looking like it's forming a bottom. I wouldn't want to short ETH here. Yesterday, it didn't really break out of the downtrend just yet. So obviously we have to be open to the possibility of a rejection, but now huge, looks very strong. Taiki, I hope your shorts, hope your shorts are still doing well, brother. But yeah, so we are looking good. We're looking good here on Ethereum. And one thing I want to be clear about, ETH, ETH and Sol could be taking the lead here. Sol still hasn't broken the market structure, but very close to it. Very close to it, right? We talked about yesterday how Sol BTC was ready to outperform. It was actually going up against it was bouncing off of a long-term trend line, and looks like it's ready to outperform Bitcoin. What we didn't look at was ETH BTC. And as you can see, ETH BTC, we drew this out last week as well. And I'm like, ETH BTC looks ready to outperform. It's forming a little bit of a bottom here on the weekly. Not something easy to do on such a high time frame. And it looks ready. And when you look at it, on the monthly, this actually looks like a bull flag. If you kind of draw it out like this, kind of actually looks like a bull flag a little bit, right? Or we can even draw out a bull flag on the weekly even, but that's what it kind of looks like on the monthly to me. A little bit of a bull flag. A little bit of a bull flag here on the monthly on ETH BTC. So ETH looking good, Solana looking good. Everything looks good to outperform Bitcoin here. So let me actually do this. When you look at ETH breaking out of the downtrend, Solana not out of the downtrend just yet, hasn't broken market structure just yet, but we've talked about it yesterday. We noticed how it still formed this nice bottom here with a recent SFP. So should be good. With ETH and Solana looking ready to outperform Bitcoin, makes me very bullish on something like Fartcoin. It also makes me very bullish on alts. But I'm noticing that, there are some alts out there that, that haven't really been outperforming the market at all. Like, in fact, there's a lot of alts that are out there that are just kind of losing key levels on Bitcoin. So something to just to take note of, and be aware of. Not ever just because Bitcoin and Solana, just because Solana and Ethereum may outperform, it doesn't mean that it's just every altcoin is going to outperform automatically, right? Still have to pay attention to exactly which alts we're buying, what narratives we're bullish on, because it has to coincide with the narratives that we're bullish on in general, right? Asset selection is still very, very important. Lastly, we brought Trader Main on we brought Trader Main on, I believe it was 2 weeks ago. We played his video or his interview yesterday during pre-show. We're now flipping this MA. So we've been unable to hold above these moving averages for since about 2 months, a little over 2 months, since early October. So we're now flipping MAs, right? And this is, so again, just another signal for ETH saying that, hey, look, maybe this is where we start to pay attention. And I told you guys yesterday, I'm not sure if Bitcoin has bottomed, but on chain definitely has. And so that's something to be aware of. So we have our interview coming up with Bones here in about 5 minutes. So guys, if there's any questions that you have, I'm actually going to put the chat on screen so I can pay attention to it. But if there's any questions that you have, anything that you want us to run through, projects, tickers, anything, just hit us up in the chat. Let us know. Basically, here's going to be the breakdown of the interview. I'm going to walk through, Bones's background, just kind of get a sense of, what brought him to the space, From there, we just kind of see where things go. We talk about the overall market. We talk about the narratives that he's interested in, his trading strategies, where he operates mostly, where he's trading, things of that nature. So that's basically going to be, and then from there, we just talk a little bit more. We just talk a little bit more about, you guys, whatever questions you guys have, anything that you guys want us to discuss. So that's going to be the breakdown of the interview. Let us know if you have any questions in the chat. Outside of that, though, last thing that I wanted to talk about here was was this. So this was actually going back to our conversation that we had yesterday. CRG, he posted, Farcoin is a scam. You should only invest in projects with fundamentals. XPL, and he posts the XPL chart here. So like I mentioned, there are charts out there that are, breaking, huge support levels. And I don't know if you guys have seen this, but I definitely have. XPL is one of those charts that have just been kind of going down only. Even here you see like Wi-Fi. That's a kind of a dino coin breaking key levels. Gala, that's a gaming project that used to be really popular. Sushi Swap is also breaking key levels, and that used to be a pretty popular token. So again, you just can't buy just because Bitcoin is seeing a pump. Can't just buy anything, right? You still have to be ready and willing to adjust your view of the market based on narratives, price action, flows, all that good stuff. Franz, welcome, brother. GM to you, my man. Ready to drink all of Bones' wise words. No, I'm ready. Let's actually get him up here. We got him in the weight room. Let me clear some of this stuff out, and let's get him on stage, and let's just kind of walk through his thoughts on the market, but also just kind of get an introduction first and go from there. Bones, what's going on, brother? How are you?
Hey, Jill. I'm very good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm chilling as usual, man. Good
Excellent,
to have
mate. Yeah, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man, dude, I'm excited for this one. So the goal of the show here is to actually get traders on. Traders that know what they're talking about, traders that have a history of, just have a history of eyeing good projects and just being on the right side of the markets overall. You are one of those. And, this is a new segment that I want to build to the show. And the first person I thought about was you guys. You know what I mean? So I wanted to get and just and for the audience, a little bit of context. Me and Bones, we trade together, right? We're constantly in the mix on chain. There's a group of us that we just love trading together. We'll get some of the other homies up, but glad to get you here, man.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's good to be here, mate. To be honest with you, like, I kind of have that feeling of like, why me? I don't see myself as sort of a special trader or anything. I guess in my eyes, the reason that I've been successful is because of the network that I've built up, and a lot of my success I'll definitely sort of base on that network, and I think that's only the fairest thing to say, that without the full network of traders and the people that we've got in our groups and all that sort of stuff, I probably wouldn't have done as well over the last sort of 6 months that I have done. So yeah, I guess that's the first thing is your network is your net worth.
Literally took the words right out of my out of my head. I guess the best place to start here, you talked about the last 6 months. How long, crypto? Like, talk to us a little bit about the journey. How all that
I kind of knew this question was coming, so I was thinking about this answer today to try and to shorten it down to something that's going to be sort of a little bit easier to digest. But I started in crypto like 2017, I think. One of my friends sort of told me about XRP and all these other coins that weren't Bitcoin, but looked like they were going to make a decent return. So I think I was buying XRP at like, I don't know, 12 to 14 cents or something like that. And, Ethereum quite cheap, but it never amounted to anything. I never held long enough and didn't really know what I was doing. Just everyone sort of sets up a Coinbase account, don't they? And they jump online and just kind of buy whatever they see. What really sort of changed for me was around 2020. Everyone was stuck at home, weren't they, during COVID? And one of my friends then told me to buy Tesla on a dip, and got me into trading properly through stocks. From buying Tesla, I moved into sort of meme stocks. So I managed to catch the GameStop run from about $12 or $13. And I think that is kind of when I became addicted, watching charts like pump crazy throughout a day. I was like, okay, like I need more of this, this is cool.
No, awesome. Honestly, same. So you've been in crypto since 2017. You've traded stocks, you've traded crypto.
Yes. Yeah. I wouldn't like to say that I traded crypto back then. I think it's safe to say that I just kind of, I dipped my toe in the water thinking that I'd be a millionaire overnight. It never happened. And I just kind of left stuff in my Coinbase account. That time from after the GameStop incident, where everyone, well, not everyone, but, a lot of people that were kind of on that train made a good amount of money. That's when I started looking into crypto. So I guess it was 2021. I moved a lot of my gains into Zilliqa. I don't know if you remember Zilliqa, like the first sharded blockchain or whatever. Yeah. I really liked that project at the time. I actually grew up in Singapore. So that project, I believe, was from Singapore. So it just kind of, when I saw it and saw that it was from Singapore, I was like, oh man, like this is speaking to me. I kind of started researching into it. Didn't really understand what sharding was or anything like that, but managed to kind of get my foot in the door then. And it's kind of since mid 2021, I guess, that I've been sort of properly trying to trade crypto.
Gotcha. So mid 2021.
Yeah.
Like I know you as like an on-chain like wizard, right? Like you you are
I appreciate that.
Dude, for anyone that doesn't know, earlier this year, I met Bones because he did like this massive write-up on a project that will remain unnamed, but has since like it was a project that I was so bullish on. I was like, wow, this thing can actually be massive. And I was looking, and not many people were seeing the same thing. I was looking on that, looking for like some write-ups and stuff like that. I'm like, I'm not really seeing any, but then I saw Bones and I'm like, holy crap. Okay. So I started following him, and that all kind of led to this. So I guess what got you like trading on chain? Like
so I guess, again, speaking about network, there's a guy, you'll be able to find him on my X, Judge Sender. Think he's been in a couple of groups that we've been in over time. I know he's in the Spud Bros. So I met Judge on X, and I think one of the main things that I've tried to do throughout my like trading journey, so to speak, is try and not build a network in a fake way. Like, what's the right way to say it? Is just try and contact people or get in contact with people that I think, okay, this guy's got some good things to say. He's got good systems in place and interesting things posted on his X. I'm like, okay, maybe I'll reach out to them and strike up a conversation and try and build that relationship. And I think that's been really important for me. And that's kind of how I've met a load of people that, I don't have a huge following on X. That's grown gradually over time, but I think it's up to maybe just over 2,000 at the moment, which in the grand scheme of things isn't huge. But one of the main things I think I've done quite well is be able to build those relationships with people. And it was Judge Sender a few years ago, or maybe 18 months ago, that we were in the same, I don't know, do you remember Bad Mad Robots Metal that was on Polygon?
Yes.
Yeah, so I managed to Yeah, that was another a great cook, and I think I managed to get in that quite early on. And I remember, as everyone does, they go onto X, they type in the ticker, and they just kind of see what people are saying about it. And I was like, oh, this Judge Sender guy, like, super bullish on this. So I messaged him, and I was like, hey, like, I'm in the same coin. Like, what do you think? What are your price targets? The usual sort of message. And we got speaking, and he's actually from the UK as well. And that guy is another underrated, like, absolute genius. Like, the guy has got some insane trading strategies, but he is a huge risk taker, and it's definitely paid off. And he's the guy that got me trading on chain. We were just talking about volume maybe 18 months ago or something, and we were looking at the volumes on daily AI runners, and the volumes are just insane. Like, we would dream of volume like that right now on Sol, and we're just not seeing it. But there was 10, 12, 15, $20 million a day in these AI coins, and we just were speaking on X, and it was like, okay, like, we're in the wrong place. We are totally in the wrong place. Like, there is no volume on ETH, there's no volume anywhere else. Like, what are we doing? And then we just gradually made that shift over to Sol, and it was him that was like, mate, like, sell everything you've got right now, like, just get off ETH, and we'll go to Sol, and we'll just try and see what happens. And the kind of super cliche, but the rest is history,
Yeah, no, absolutely. Just for reference, guys, what was the all-time high for Badman Robots? You remember? Was it like 600?
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually logged out of my trading view. I probably should have been better set up, but as you well know, I've got kids and all sorts going on, so it's sometimes trying to get set up for this was a bit of a nightmare. Bear with me 1 second, but I think, yeah, it was maybe around 60 cents or something like that, wasn't it?
Well, the reason I asked is just for the audience context. This was a thread that I wrote up about Bad Mad Robots, like, back in like January 2024. Found it at a mill, and that was one of the early spots that one of my nice cooks on Polygon. I haven't done a lot on Polygon, but that was a nice little.
I think that was kind of the only one that I hit on Polygon as well. I didn't really sort of pay much attention to anything else.
Yeah, no, that was awesome. I mean, what other, like, okay, let's back up a little bit. So you're now looking to trade on Solana. You're looking to go where the volume is.
Yeah,
I've seen like a ton of devs, a ton of traders. I've seen a ton of people basically fade. Why does this keep coming up? There we go. Basically fade the move to Solana. Basically saying, oh man, ETH utility, it's gonna come back. So like, what was the vibes like from other people? Were people joining you to go to Solana, or was it just
what? Yeah, back then it was just me and Judge. Like, the network was tiny at that point, and it was just kind of me and him in DMs together. And we, as I say, we realized we're both from the UK, started talking more, and it was like, right, okay, like, we just went. I think the first play that we had real success for, I think if you go onto Judge's profile, like, he's got his pinned tweet, he found that Colin, I don't know if you remember that was like one of the first Swarm agents, and I think he got into that something like maybe 150 200k or something, and it went to like 30-40 million. So we both rode that together, and it was Spurg AI that was the big win, the first big win that we were on, that Bloomsburg AI, and that was like the real eureka moment, I think, where I was like, damn, like, this is insane. Like, things just move so quick. If you can catch moves at the bottom and ride them into, I think Spurg went to like maybe 20 mil, and I think we got in at like 200k. Again, didn't ride the whole bag all the way up, because sometimes you see numbers and you're just like, I've got to sell this. But that was like kind of when it became quite obvious that we were in the right place. Seeing volumes like that Colin run was insane. So yeah, I mean, I'm trying to have a look at the Colin chart here. I think that's probably dead right now.
I don't think that one. I think it was one of the. So when did this move? When did this move take place? Like, was it like Q4 2024? Like, right as things
I want to say around Q4 2024, and maybe just a bit before that. And we were just trying to like dip our toes in the water, so to speak, and then try and get used to trading on Sol, because things move so quickly. I think that's one of the big transitions people need to make. Like, if you come from ETH and any other chains and then move over to Sol, the speed of which things move and the speed of like that narratives change, just getting used to that, like it was insane, you know. I still am massively surprised sometimes how any of us are able to keep up, you know. And I think a few people that are in the group are obviously trying to take a break at the moment. I've not been doing a ton of trading just because it makes your head spin, you know. You need to have some time away from the screens and the charts. But sorry, I'm digressing. I apologize.
No, honestly, no, I'm with you. Actually, just on that thought, we had a trader on the other day. I don't know if you're familiar with Trader Mercury. I was just showing one of his charts up.
Yeah.
But another Chad that I've followed for a while, we had him on the show, you know, a few weeks ago, and he was basically saying, like, I asked him, I'm like, all right, so like, what advice, based on what you know, what we've talked about, and I might ask you the same thing at the end of our conversation, but I asked him the same thing. I was like, look, what should people be doing right now? And this is him. I asked him, what should people be doing right now? He basically said, take a break. Like, you know, nothing is happening. Like, and honestly, right after that interview, I took a break. I was like, you know what? I think he's right. I think I just need to fully reset, clear my head, instead of just like, you know, continuing to go around in circles, trying to just like chase something that really isn't there yet.
I
So
think
honestly,
sorry, you go, mate. You go.
No, please.
I was going to say, I think in between all the noise on X, there is some golden nuggets of information from the right people, you know, and it's just finding those bits of information. I think a couple of posts, and again, I can't remember where I saw them, but someone basically said sometimes the best trade is no trade, you know. And I think that is something that people need to realize, that this cyclical thing that we've got going on Solana at the moment, where we're just chasing new launches continually and going round and round in circles. And, you know, I don't know if you've seen the chart recently with the amount of online traders there are at the moment on Sol. It's like all-time lows nearly. So it's just the same people spinning the same sort of narratives, chasing each other's gains back to like the same wallet. So like, I'll lose $100 one day to guy X, and then the next day I take it back from him, and it's just this like back and forth, and it just feels at the moment a little bit pointless. So that's maybe 3 or 4 days ago. I was like, you know what, like December's coming up, I've got kids, I've got family, like I'm busy all the time, I've been staring. That's exactly the chart I was looking at. You're a genius. But you know, I've got kids, I've got a family. Like I've spent the last 18 months online staring at charts, always on my phone, like for good reason, you know, trying to improve my life, trying to improve the life of my family and my kids and all that sort of stuff. But I think if, you know, look at that, it's outrageous.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen we've seen the other charts, right, of like the pump fund ROI, how like, you know, a ton of the coins don't really like reach an all-time high more after an hour of being live. Like most of them just kind of die. We've seen these charts before as well. Volume and traders on Solana are going down. I look at this and I'm like, I know I've been continuing to lock in like these last, like, you know, 6-8 months, like kind of enduring this downtrend. But what if this is a bottom signal? Have you ever like thought to yourself, like, can it get much lower than it is now?
I mean, that is a very good point. It's like when the coin that shall not be named was popping off, I managed to sort of like, at work, I was like, spoke to a lot of like in real life friends and the guys at work and stuff. And I was talking about crypto, and, you know, they were like keen to get on board. They were downloading like Phantom Wallet. They were, you know, trying to get money on chain, and they were buying that particular coin, and everyone was seeing gains and it was exciting and happy. They got burnt just like we all did. And it's that same old story now. It's like at that time, I even said to myself, I remember coming home and speaking to my wife, and I was like, man, like this is a top signal in crypto, like regular people like absolutely clawing at trying to get online. And I was like, I need to like sell some, you know, I've made this mistake before. Here we go. Like it's literally happening in front of my eyes. Like people are texting me and on WhatsApp and stuff like, how do I get on? I heard you like do crypto, and I heard it's like, you know, AI coins are popping off or whatever. So yeah, I mean, is this a bottom signal? I don't know. from the very small pool of people that I speak to in real life that have traded crypto, the vast majority of them are like, I'm not touching that thing ever again. All that's ever happened is I've lost money. So I don't know. I mean, again, that is a very small sample size, and I wouldn't like to base the rest of the world's decisions on like 12 people, but
Yeah.
it doesn't seem at the moment that there's much appetite for coming back on chain and losing money, you know?
Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. And I, man, that's crazy because I thought the same thing in like Q1.
Yeah.
Remember that video that was going around with like Frank D Gods and it was one of the popular
No.
streamers. What's his name?
Yeah.
Aiden Ross. And Aiden was
Yes.
like, "Wait, who's bigger than the U.S. president that launched the token? Like, who's bigger
Yeah.
than
Yeah.
him?" And
Yeah.
I was like, "Dang, I'm not gonna lie, it's a really good point. It's a top signal, but
Mm.
like,
Yeah.
it's
I
like
mean,
I'm gonna say though."
mate, I remember lying in bed when Trump coin launched, and I was like watching like if you go on down. Oh, I nearly mentioned the name of that coin. If you look at the chart of that coin, there is like a candle from I don't even know what mil, but like maybe 16 mil all the way to like 3 mil. And I was like in bed. My missus was sat next to me, and I'm like watching my phone, like my Phantom wallet, and it's just like depleting, like going down. And I'm like, oh my god, I've done it again. I have done it again. So I just like turned my phone off. Luckily, I woke up in the morning and it was pretty much, it recovered to kind of back where it was. But at that time, again, it should have been so obvious that Trump launched a coin, is, you know, Melania, however you pronounce it, she launched a coin. Like that was the exit signal, wasn't it, really?
Man, I mean, like, there was looking back, there was so many signals. We saw
Yeah.
the TikTok guys,
Mm.
we saw the Gen Z starting to pick it up.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, man, this is all top signals, but I
It
guess
keeps you coming back though. It keeps you coming
yeah.
back. Like the addiction is so real, and the addiction, I think, as well for me, like especially when you're winning with a group of people that like as silly as it sounds, and you guys and your audience will understand this because we're all living the same life, but like your online friends that you've made, like you care for those guys a lot. Like you spend a lot of time speaking to them, a lot of time doing research, a lot of time bouncing ideas off each other, and like if you're all in on the same coin, like that addiction of you and all of the people that you like care about, that you like, that you want to win, all them winning as well, there's nothing better, you know. There's the reason why all those memes exist of all the guys like hugging each other with the green candles behind them, you know, like
Yeah.
it's an addiction.
Yeah, it's all dopamine, man. At the end of the day, it's all dopamine. I mean, I guess the question I had was kind of going back to our discussion, like kind of where we were in time. You're now coming on to Solana.
Yeah.
You're going through Q4, Q1. You're
Yeah.
enjoying yourself. What were some of the biggest gains you enjoyed from Q4?
Oh.
Just reminisce for a sec.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, the coin that shall not be named. I think it was like December 23rd or something last year, so nearly a year ago, that I full ported at that time a very small portfolio into that coin, and I think it was maybe 100 to 200k at the time, and it ran to 20 mil. And I had, I don't know, maybe 7-8 million tokens or something. So that was like $100,000 worth right there. I hasten to add, I didn't cash all of that out because, you know, it's crypto, and why would you take all life-changing money? Why would you do that?
Right.
You know, yeah. Why would you take life-changing money and never come back? I can't. What was it, Sora as well? I think I put like crazy. I was telling the guys at work about this the other day because we were just talking about like insane fumbles. Put something like $4,000 into Sora when going to bed. Woke up and it was 40k. I was like, what the hell has just happened? Just insane. Like, bring that back,
Dude. Like, please. I mean, I'm looking. Like, I remember for me, I got Griffin at 1 mil market cap.
Oh my god.
In Q4, like, and
Yeah.
honestly, bro, I didn't know what it was. What I was trying to do was, and I don't know if you did the same thing, probably not from what I'm hearing. I did both. I tried to do Solana and ETH. Like,
Okay.
I know I was trying to treat ETH like the utility chain,
Yeah,
like where all the value is being created, and then Solana just to kind of like gamble high risk bets
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it worked out because I caught Popcat at 1 mil.
Oh man. Yeah.
I caught I caught like when Lock In and some of these others like were at like 4 mil went to 90. So like
Dude, lock in. God, like honestly, like I know we have everyone says like I saw that at like whatever market cap, and it means nothing because I didn't buy it. But like that's one of the ones that I even like. That meme is awesome, and I saw it
yeah.
low, and I'm like, oh God, I wish I was clever enough to buy stuff like that,
And I guess for me, like I've been having this thought, and maybe you had the same one about like the historical trends in crypto, like haven't really like held up at all. The historical trends, like the historical trend is, hey, when Bitcoin goes up, all altcoins go up, but that hasn't
Yeah.
been the case, right?
No, yeah.
The historical trend has been, Bitcoin only makes an all-time high after the halving. We saw it happen before the halving.
Yeah.
But like there's so many things that just kind of are historically just out of whack right now. And I wish coming into this space that I didn't take everyone's advice of altcoin season's coming, just like buy and hold.
I got to be honest, like one of the things that has really allowed me to do so well in the last 3 months in particular, like that is just changing my outlook on trading in general and just kind of running my own race. Before it's so easy to get involved in everyone else's decisions, and people are posting stuff trying to boost their own following, trying to build their profile, build their brand, and all that sort of stuff. So there's a lot of information out there to be digested every day, and we've all fallen into that trap of like selling because someone else sold, or following wallets and you see that wallet is sold, so you sell, and then it just all goes wrong. So I've made all those mistakes, and after getting slapped by the coin that shall not be named, I kind of just had this epiphany where I was like, what am I doing? Like, I had a bad feeling about it. I didn't act upon that, so I lost more money than I should. And I think that change in perspective, that change in attitude was like, you know what, from now on, I'm just going to do me. Like, I deleted all the wallets that I was following. I don't like copy trade anyone anymore. I had, spent a good amount of time, as everyone does on chain, like seeing transactions and been like, oh, I think that's that person. Then you go back through their feed, see what coins they're into. All of them match up on, the wallet that you're looking at, and then you like save that wallet address. And I've fallen victim to selling because that particular person sold and then missing out on tons of money. And I was like, what am I doing trying to copy someone else's thesis or conviction, and it just never seems to pan out so well. So that's sort of something I've learned in the last sort of 3 to 6 months in particular, is build your own conviction, run your own race. And I think that will pay off or have a massive benefit for everyone.
Got it. So that was actually one of the questions I wanted to ask you. As we close out the year, what are some like kind of big things that you take away? So that was one of them.
Yes, definitely. Running your own race, huge. Having a strategy. I don't know if you saw the what has boosted my following from a measly 1,000 to a ridiculous 2,000 recently is that sort of banking challenge that I started, where I was just like taking Sol out of the market. Yeah, taking Sol out of the market continually, and like, I don't know, maybe when Sol was around 200, my average banking of Sol was probably around 200, managed to bank 250 Sol within 6 weeks, I think, which is good going. But it profit taking, man. Like, it's so silly and it sounds so obvious, but like no one takes enough profit, and no one has the ability, or not no one, but I think we all get caught up with what happens if this coin keeps running.
Right.
And I've learned a lot about myself in the last sort of 3 months, that actually I've kind of realized that because of my personal situation, the fact that I've got kids, I'm like 40, or like 39, nearly 40. I've got kids, I've got a full-time job. Like, what is important for me is earning money that can be put back into my kids and my family, right? If I keep looking at money disappearing and slipping through my fingers, I'm not doing a particularly good job of what I'm here for. We're all here to make money, right? So for me, I've realized that actually what I'm pretty good at is finding decently low market cap coins, holding on to them for the initial run, and then selling. Yes, I may miss out on future gains. Like THRT is the perfect example of that. I messed up that trade a little bit, like but it's not a problem because I made a good amount of money from it. It could have been so much more, but I think what I've realized as I'm good at is having that realization that it is okay to miss out a crazy on a crazy amount of money for consistently good gains, you know.
And I guess that's one of the things I wanted to just walk through as well. Is just first just kind of give the audience a little backstory about this banking strategy, and
Yes.
kind of how that's shaped how you approach markets now.
Yeah, so after again the coin that won't be named, after that screwed everyone and friends, and you know everyone was kind of low after that. I was like, all right, like I can't have conviction in coins anymore. I don't trust the Solana traders to hold anything anymore, and that is obvious because no one does. I don't trust devs to follow through on what they're saying, because how can we trust just, you know, a face behind a screen when we don't know who they are, we don't know what their intentions are. So I was like, okay, like my new thing is I'm just going to start banking Sol, like 1 Sol a day, and it was Market Watcher, you know, watching markets. That guy often says like things along the lines of like, it's just really important to continue banking Sol. If you make $2,000, you should bank 1,500 of it, keep the 500 that's left, and trade that 500, and you're just trying to improve your life by removing money from the market. So I think it was kind of August time. I was speaking to, you know, a couple of the guys that are probably listening now, like Cabra, like Franz, all those guys. I'm like, you know what, like I'm done with holding anymore. Like I'm just gonna take a trade, sell, move on, and just see what I can see what happens. And I think the first sort of 5 or 6 days, I was like, I just wanted to make 1 Sol a day. I know that sounds ridiculous, but I think 1 Sol a day at an average of $200 is $64,000 a year. So if you look at it like that, can I make $200 a day in the majority of markets? The answer is probably yes, I can, because there's enough opportunities out there to do that, right? So it started off as that, just I'm going to keep banking Sol. I'm just going to keep trying to earn that 1 Sol a day. And I was super strict. Like there was a day where I think I made that 1 Sol. I bought a coin the night before, woke up, saw 1 Sol game, sold it. Like by 8:30 a.m. I'd made the 1 Sol. I just kind of logged off for the day. I was like, cool, okay, that feels good. Like I don't have to worry for the rest of the day about, you know, making money or trading or anything. And then it kind of spiraled. Like I was just banking Sol like a madman. Like I don't know, I just hit some real nice trades, and everything just seemed to sort of come together quite nicely. I think, what was it, about 6 to 8 weeks ago, we had a nice run on chain, didn't we? Mm-hmm. Where there was a lot of low cap tech that was like running quite nicely up into, you know, maybe 1-2 mil. You were finding runners from 20k to 500k, so 10-20x's. And again, this kind of goes back to the networking stuff. Like there's no way I could have done that without all of the guys that we trade with, you know. Like I don't have enough time to find these plays myself. I find plays and do the research and write threads and do all that sort of stuff, but some of the guys that I follow and that we've got in the team, like they're just like on another level of insanity. Like I don't understand how they find these coins, you know. Like Jason Bourne, Robin Hood, like Franz, although Franz's streak's coming to an end now. Like the guy's absolutely cooked. So we don't take his calls anymore. But all jokes aside, like, you know, Franz came up with some crazy plays, and I'm lucky enough that those guys are happy to share them, you know, and without that, you kind of be on your own and sort of floundering around. And I'm kind of getting off topic again, but yeah, like it kind of boils down to the fact that every time I saw a gain that I thought was like profit, like worthy of selling, I was like, okay, like I'm going to start selling it. And because of the nature of the market within the last sort of 6 to 8 weeks, so we had some good runners. Yeah, I went a bit crazy, and don't get me wrong, like it was difficult. There was some points where I sold too much and banked too much, and I missed out on some pretty decent gains. Like I think, do you remember Obex?
Yeah. Oh, dude, I missed hard on Obex.
Yeah, like, dude, I bought 2% of Obex, or maybe 3% of Obex at 20k. And it ran to like 300-400k, and I was like, sweet, like sold the whole lot. And then no, was it 300k, maybe like 200k, 250, something like that. I'll have to get the chart up. And then a couple of days later, it went to like 1.7 mil. And I'm like, oh, like that could have been it. That could have been like the play, but it wasn't. And
yeah.
yeah, like it wasn't. And you've just got to be okay with that. Stop worrying about it. Like every day there are different runners. You pick yourself up, you go again, you find another coin, and you just keep moving on. So I think I came out of that Obex trade with maybe like 3 or 4 grand. And that was where I was like, okay, like as a trader, do I need 4 grand to trade with? The answer for me is no, I don't. Like good enough gains can be made with $500-600. So I just banked the rest of that. And that's kind of one of the things that I have been really good at, and I think is really important for other people to realize is like you don't need to like have crazy size. And when I was thinking about this interview earlier on, I think that's an important note, is something I've realized over time, particularly because we're all sort of around chasing these like low cap tech coins at the moment. I think that's where like the majority of gains have been made. If you size into heavy anyway, like you just drop 1,000 in, people are going to sell on you immediately. You know, like they just sell that candle, so then you're already down. And it was actually one of the strategies that Franz introduced me to. I remember speaking to him again, like goes back to this network thing. Like I messaged him, Franz, like speaking to him, like, mate, like I'm having a nightmare at the moment, not making any money. Like, what am I doing? Because all jokes aside, that guy has been early to a lot of narratives. So if there's anyone out here that's not following him, like the dude is just cracked out of his mind. Like he got into all the ICM stuff early. So he kind of taught me this way of like on every single green candle, every time something just pumps a little bit, just scrape a little bit off the top. And I guess this is, in a roundabout way, I missed this this tactic that Franz told me about. So let's say you've got a coin that's, I don't know, 20, 30, 40k market cap, and you buy 1 sol's worth and you get 1% of the supply, right? If it pumps to like 40, 50k, like just clip 0.1 sol. And then if you feel like it's still going to move and it goes to like 60 or 70, clip another 0.1 sol. And that particular tactic is what's really made the difference. Is just you've always got money to play with. You've always got a little bit of like sol in the bank because you're always scraping off the top. And then eventually for me, it got to the point where I'd scraped so much off, there wasn't any left. I was like, oh, they've only got $200 worth of that coin now. Great, I'll close the position. And then before you know it, you've made a good amount of gains on the way up on a run. You've closed the position and you've moved on.
So what kind of difference has this banking strategy like made? I want to ask you how much money you've made, but like I mean, what kind of a difference has it made for you?
I think it's been really important in making me realize that taking, I know it sounds so silly, but like it's so simple. Taking profit and closing positions is okay. And that has made a big difference in that. Like if I see a gain now where I'm like, I think before, and I think we've all been led down this, like led into this place with trading on Sol, with following all of these like insane traders on X that maybe they fake their profit and loss. I don't know. It's not something that I've thought about myself. But I think we, sorry, my kids were just trying to come into the bedroom there, so I got totally distracted and knocked me off my thought train. Oh man, what was I saying? So yeah, like because we've been led down this place where we think like crazy profit and loss are the only thing that we can trade and the only sort of like avenue we can go down. Like remembering that $1,000 as a gain is actually really, really good, is really important. You know, like this whole banking challenge has made me realize that like if I see $1,000 plus, I'm like, who am I not to take profit on $1,000? Like that's a lot of money for me. It's a lot of money for anyone. I don't care who you are. $1,000 is a lot of money. Like, don't be scared to take that, and don't be scared to bank it, and you know, don't be scared to miss out on future gains for money now that's there and it's, you know, achievable.
Yeah, that's a big area for me. Going through 2025 and going through these markets, I've had so many gains, man, that personally for me though is more like I felt bad selling because, sometimes you talk about something on the timeline. And so maybe you kind of just feel bad, kind of like selling a little bit after. It's not like you're going from tweet and then 2 minutes later, but a week later, 2 weeks later, like it starts to run, and I'm like, nah, like I don't want to sell. Like, I kind of want to. It's for me that side of it, and to be honest, it's something that I gotta get over. Like,
Mate,
I realize that.
I've realized as well, I am terrible, absolutely terrible at seeing gains slip away. So even if it's on the first portion of a run, like Obex would be the perfect example on that chart. Like it ran from 20k up to 200k or whatever, sold the majority, maybe 90% on the way up. And then in Axiom, I'm like looking at my like overall profit and loss, like kind of like gradually moving down. And I'm like, oh my God, like I hate that. I don't want to see my profit and loss like start to diminish. So I prefer to just sell it and just be like, okay, great, I made like my 3k. I don't like it to go down, and I think that's all right, I think that's what weirdly I get not tons of DMs, but what's been really nice is because of this banking challenge and reminding people to like, it's okay to take profit, it's okay to, $500 is a lot of money, like it's okay to sell that, like live to fight another day, as opposed to being frustrated at missing out on gains. I've got tons of DMs where people are like, mate, like because of this banking strategy, I started it as well, and I started off by doing banking 0.2 sol a day, and now I'm up to maybe like 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 grand that I've banked. And it's like insane that you can inspire people to do the same thing,
Wow, that's actually really powerful. It reminds me of like in the stock market, when they say like if you make 1% a day, over a year, you can go from this many to this much to this much. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
I'm not familiar with that saying, but I get the precedent that it's setting is like, stacking these small wins, stacking $300, $400, $500, $600 wins constantly. Like I think at one point my win rate on my wallet was at something like 58%. And that's something that I'm massively proud of. And I think that is because I obviously traded the right coins, traded the right charts, but I took the money when it was on the table, and that's something that has really been that I've really learned from that challenge. Is when you see something that you personally don't worry about anyone else, what anyone else is making or anyone else needs. If that money is something that is going to improve your personal situation and allows you to, come away from the day thinking, oh man, like, I've done really well today, then it's okay to take that profit,
And what you're saying kind of reminds me of so we have the owner of Left Curve DAO on, Jones Ryder, and he kind of said the same thing. He was like, when we see these like the numbers on the screen, we kind of lose connection with like the value of that money. And I gotta say, man, like, dude, Q4, Q1, that was me. Like that was me. Like I had like, so we caught, like I was just on a streak, man. I don't know how to describe it. I was just on a streak, as many people were. I mean, it was pretty easy to make money at that time. But like after I hit that first bit with Griffane, like I hit a nice 50x, and then I just compounded and compounded and compounded. And like before, a $3,000 gain was like, holy crap, wow, like, I can't believe that happened. But then like it turned into like, it's just like 10k up. Like I can go a little bit more. Like
the numbers get skewed so quickly, don't they? They're just like, and that's what I think is really important to remind yourself of. Like that's one thing that I kind of have discussed with friends in the past is like, I remind myself constantly, like, who am I not to take profit? Like, how dare you see 5 grand in front of you? Like, if someone came to you in the street like tomorrow and said to you like, I'm going to swap you $5,000 for your $200 today, you would break their arm off for that deal. So why, when trading on chain, if you make that sort of money, why aren't we selling? And that's what I have to remind myself constantly is like, sometimes the opportunities are right in front of you and you have to take them,
Yeah, what Jones said was, he at one point in the interview, he was like, sometimes for us, we think, oh, let's just toss a soul at it. But like,
Yeah,
at that time, like Sol was like 250, $300. He was
yeah,
like,
yeah,
if you actually pull that out, that can make somebody's day. Like you can
yeah,
do something meaningful with one
yeah,
Sol,
yeah.
but half the time we just kind of like gamble it on chain, right? So
Mm,
yeah, I guess that's my big, like one of my biggest takeaways is just not losing the value of
yeah,
capital, but
yes,
also risk management.
yeah,
And what I found out about risk management is like people often view it as like only like eliminating downside, but really
hmm,
what risk management is the banking strategy. It's taking
yes,
profit. It's
it is,
taking
mate.
it's taking money off the table.
It's getting it out of this market as well. Like I'm happy to tell people, like, I've screwed up hundreds of times, hundreds and hundreds of times, like by not taking any profit, by taking money out of the market, and then thinking, like, I think PVS recently, like a good chunk of gains that I took out the market, I'm talking maybe like 3 or 4K, I put back in to PVS at like 6 mil and lost it all. It went down to like 3, and I was like, and then I panic sold. And it was just this whole thing where I was like, oh my God, what am I doing? Like,
Yeah.
so now I've obviously got a new rule where I'm like, any money that comes out just never goes back in. And if I don't have enough money to trade with, I don't have enough money to trade with. Like, that's your own fault. Like, you better figure it out if you want some more money to trade with, because you're not taking it from your bank account. That's, what I mean, from the winnings you've already got.
Yeah. I guess one thing that I is similar to that I kind of told myself as a rule, coming into crypto, I came in, I bought the 2021 top I
Yeah.
saved up about like 15, 20 G's.
Mm,
And in 2022, that all went to zero, all of it.
mm,
And
yeah.
I was like, okay, obviously this is a market that I have no idea how to trade, apparently. So I
Mm,
told myself that I will never put IRL money into crypto. I will only take money
yes.
out of crypto.
Yes. Yeah. I think that's,
And so any gains that I take out, I'm never putting back in, even if my portfolio goes down to zero, like which it
yeah.
did in the bear market.
Yeah.
I forced myself, and that I guess that's kind of like going back to your earlier point of networking.
Mate, I think the teaching yourself that resiliency as well, and like kind of understanding that you don't need to be trading. Like, again, I'm happy to tell people at the moment, I think my portfolio is like 5 grand max. Like, I've got some DLLM in there and some other couple of bits and bobs, and I'm like, I don't need tons of money at the moment to trade, because number one, I'm not trading, and number two, like, the money that I've earned is so much more important out of the market. And if I want to earn more money, I'm just going to have to lock in harder with the few Sol that I've got left, or I've got to sell some gains from coins that I'm already in to move over to something else. Like, if we're as good as we think we are, 5 grand is more than enough money to kind of run it back up, so to speak.
Yeah, yeah. Look,
And I think
I mean,
that's, sorry, dude, go on.
no. Finish your thought.
I was just going to say that I think that's something that a lot of people also kind of get caught up in, is they see those, again, it's back to the profit and loss cards. They think that they need to drop 6 grand into a coin or whatever crazy numbers. They don't. You can make some serious money just with a couple of Sol, and then if it drops, just DCA in and stick to your conviction. I think moving away from that, or for a lot of the guys that are, that follow all of us on X, that are looking for calls, that are looking for things to do, we're probably all in the same position. Like, no one out here is trading with tons and tons of money. We just need to kind of normalize the fact that it is okay to like get into a coin with a couple of Sol to begin with. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to buy like 4%.
And you're right. I actually I love what you said. If we think we're as good as we are, we can run it back up with 5K.
Absolutely, yeah. Like, people are quoting themselves on Twitter all the time, and posting on Twitter, on X or whatever. Like, I've made this, I've made that. Like, then we shouldn't be worried about having a small portfolio, because we can run it back up. And that's kind of where I'm at the moment. Like, 95% of my money is out of the market at the moment, and I've left myself like 5 grand. And if I think I'm as good as I am, then I'll do it again. It will happen. We'll just wait and see.
I wish I followed. I wish I followed that strategy. But one thing that I'm thinking about doing, and you're the first to hear about this,
Oh, cool.
trading challenge. Early, like when the time is right. We got to time this the right way. Like, I don't think right now is the best time to start it, honestly. And I want to ask you a little bit about your thoughts on like markets and like where we go from here with Bitcoin over the next few months, and into 2026. But I'm not. I think we take another stab at the lows, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that we're ready for like
BTC
a full
chart.
Yeah, I don't think we're ready for. And yeah, we can pull your chart ups and everything, so we can show your screen if you want to.
I'm on a tablet at the moment with my laptop separate, so it's probably best if you get the BTC chart up, mate. But I can talk through it because I've got it here.
Cool. Yeah, I can do that. But yeah, I mean, I definitely want to start a trading challenge. And what I would love to do is I'd love to start it like at $1,000, like $1,000. Start it and like let's see how maybe how quickly or how much we can run it up. That's the part. Like, I don't really know. Should we do a price target goal? Should we do a timed goal? But just kind of like, and then we cover, we bring the bros back on, we cover it live, what we've been trading, how much we're up. And I think that would be a really cool segment. It's something that I'm gonna do. I'll be into that in the past, man. And it's honestly a great way to learn how to, manage risk, how to approach markets, like how to trade. But yeah,
I think Elon, I listened to him in a podcast once when Elon Musk was on with Joe Rogan, and he said something about being wrong less. And that's something that resonated with me as well. And I think that works perfectly for trading. Like, you don't have to be right all the time. You just need to make less mistakes, and if you can like diminish those mistakes and reduce those mistakes, I think you'll see such better gains and such more fruitful, like better trading, basically. Yeah. And I think that's important, and that's something that I've really tried to do as well, is reduce stupid mistakes. Like, I think that goes back to sizing incorrectly as well. And I'm kind of going off on a tangent here, but with that, like the sort of strategy that Franz came up with, where I know he doesn't like full clip into a coin. I know that for a fact because I've talked through it. The guy's made some like insane gains on coins in the past, and it's all because he DCAs in over a period of time, and it's gradual. And I think that's something else that people need to take from this is like, if you go into a coin with 2-3 grand straight away, you're emotionally attached to that 2-3 grand much more than you are to one sol, and if you start seeing that drop, you're going to do something stupid, which I used to do all the time. It's like, I need 2% of this coin, so I'm going to buy 2% now, and when it's down 20-30%, I'm like, oh my god, like, this isn't good. I'm down $500-$700, and then I sell, and then it starts moving back up, and I'm like, like the mistakes because of emotions are amplified, But if you just DCA in gently, one sol to begin with, and then 0.1, 0.2, 0.3 sol at a time, the emotional attachment to that money is much less, in my opinion. So it allows you to not make those mistakes.
Yeah, I guess that's one of the things we were talking about yesterday while I was on stream was you don't like, the more you look at the chart, and in this case, the more you size in like improperly, like it puts you at risk for being emotional. We all like to think that we're robotic traders that we can manage risk and do and it's just not the truth. We're humans, we're emotional, and that's just our normal state. And so we have to be able to manage our emotions, but we put ourselves at risk of managing these trades with our emotions when you do some of these things. And and honestly, that's what a big lesson that I had to learn, because that was me, man. Like, and I would say that I didn't really get affected by the P&L, but I was definitely watching. It made me watch the chart more, and that's where I messed up.
And that's when you're spending your day worrying about like a chart, like the rest of your life gets put on hold, and there's a big wide world out there, and we don't want to spend it, like waste all our time looking at a computer or a phone constantly. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm guilty of that, but I'm trying not to be. And I think that all comes down to that risk management and entering into coins slowly, not clipping in. And weirdly enough, like, this was something I was thinking about today as well. Like, everyone speaks to like multiple people in DMs, and there's a young guy that like messaging me. He's from the UK. I think he's like 17. This guy Lance on X, and he tells me about, he's got a tactic. If he is in a coin and he sees someone like ape into it with 2 or 3K and it's just one wallet and it pumps the price, he just full clips it out because he's like, well, that's not got any sustained pump behind it. The sustained buy pressure won't be there. Like, it will drop.
Right.
So immediately that person that's clipped in that 4K is now like, they're already on the back foot. And if that is you, you're going to then make a stupid mistake after that. And I think even like, you know, everyone's learning from everyone all the time. And that kind of opened my eyes to it. Like, okay, like, yeah, I don't want to be clipping into coins because some people use that as a tactic. You know, they sell into that volume.
Right. So we talked about a lot here so far. So just for the audience, if you guys are recently joining us, you know, we've talked about strategies such as like DCAing in slowly, not like sizing in with thousands at first, or, you know, with big size all in one go. But DCAing is important. Taking profit is important. The big part of the segment that I liked was banking soul. Some people have made tens of thousands just, you know, stacking small wins over over time. Anything else that I missed?
No, not really. I guess, I think that's pretty much everything, mate. Yeah.
So with all of that said, I guess the next best thing is, you know, what are you trading now? Like, I know you mentioned that you're on a break. Like, what's the approach to markets now? What's the strategy? When will you get back in? All that good stuff.
Well, at the moment, I am just sat on a couple of coins, one of which you have had them on here a few times, is DLMM. Everyone that follows me on X probably understands how bullish I am on those guys and Slabs and the whole team. So I'm just sat on a pretty sizable bag of that at the moment, and some OneDev, QNet, the guy that's making the solo dev, attempting to create a blockchain on his own. That's I think testnet goes live soon. So I'm just sat on those at the moment, and I'm kind of trying a new tactic. And I think this is something else that I'm lucky that I'm in the position, because I've banked all this sol, and I've kind of, for me, my 2025 trading journey, let's say, has been a success. Like, it's a tick in the book, like it's done, you know. So now I'm just kind of trying new things. So I'm never usually that great at holding for an extended period of time. Like, there's some guys out there that are just absolute, like, stone cold, like, will hold from the very bottom to the very top, make tons of money and move on. Like, I'm not good at that. But what I'm trying this time is, okay, I'll pick up a bag of something I've got utmost confidence in, and I'm just going to sit on that and hold it. So at the moment, I'm trying not to just to make any other trades, really. If I see, you know, if I maybe get a tip off that they feel like something is pretty good and it's going to run, then great, I'll jump on it. But I'm just kind of waiting for the market to turn around. I just don't really like where we are at the moment. And this is something I was discussing with Franz and Cabra and and stuff the other day. It's like, I do really feel like we're in a place where we're just a small pool of traders in tech coins, and we're just dumping on each other at the moment. And I'm just a little bit bored of that. So I just need to see, basically, it's just some runners. Maybe a new meta would help, something that's got some life behind it. I know ICM obviously was a big thing that kind of seems to have died off, and God knows what's going to happen with Bitcoin, because, you know, I'm just looking at the chart here, and on the daily it just looks like a massive head and shoulders is being created. So yeah,
I'm so happy you said that, because I put out a post yesterday that I was like, I don't know how to feel about this. But let me share my screen here real quick. And this is the post here. Like, I literally saw this and I'm like, okay. And even though we see a pump today, like I was just sharing this on the stream just a moment ago. I'll share this chart. Like, I'm like, yeah, we broke out of the downtrend, but we're still in this like bear flag
it doesn't
sort
look
of
great.
area. So and it's we're coming off the bottom, and I was looking at this part of the chart over here, because like on this, if we look on the 3-day, we've been in here before. We've been here. We've been here since.
That is the chart I'm looking at right now, and where you've just started, that looks like the beginning of the left shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder, like a huge one on the daily, doesn't it? That on the 3-day,
Oh,
sorry, I can see that.
shoot.
Look how massive that is.
You're absolutely right. Okay,
Like
I hope.
that's what I'm seeing, and that's
Yeah,
terrifying.
I really hope that doesn't play out. I was
Mm,
talking about this, I believe it was yesterday, because I'm looking at the price action over here, and then I
mm,
go over here, and I'm like, I need this price action where it's like fat
yeah,
candles,
yeah,
consolidate, fat candles,
hmm,
consolidate. But like over here, it's like it's choppy, man. Like,
yeah.
dips are getting eaten and stuff like that, but it's not what you want to see for like a full-on recovery.
No, like,
So that's why I just think this is going to be what plays out over
okay,
the
cool,
next.
interesting.
That would be my ideal. Like we break out of this.
Mm,
Perhaps we see 100K, maybe even less. Honestly, with
mm,
with the downtrend, I think with the head and shoulders that we're in, I think 100K is like the top.
yeah,
90, 96, 97K, something like that. But
mm,
we see some sort of like rally here, but then we
hmm,
just dump it all, man. We dump it all to
yeah,
close out the month. And
yeah.
then we may consider, rallying after that. But I really think this market recovers in February, to be honest.
Okay. My
That's the part that
biggest
I'm looking at.
my biggest criticism of myself is when I chart stuff, like I know I'm overly biased to a bearish chart because I've just got a negative outlook. I've been hurt so many times before. I'm like, oh god, this
Yeah.
looks terrible. Like it looks terrible. There's no way it's going to do well. So yeah, I don't know. For Bitcoin, I'm leaning bearish, but if I'm honest, I have never been great at predicting stuff that's going on with Bitcoin. I don't know if you're familiar with a guy on YouTube. He's called Skinny Moon Hunter, and he's only
No.
maybe got like 3 or 4 thousand subs. The guy is like a charting wizard. He's just like, he does live charts or maybe charts every 2 or 3 times a week, like top 10 cryptos, top 20, and just goes through each one. And I learned so much from him. And I don't know if you use the 314 EMA at all. I know that's a crazy number,
Mhm.
but I really like the 314 EMA, particularly for Bitcoin and Ethereum and these coins that we've got tons of data for. But obviously 314 is pi. And if you enter the 314 EMA into the daily, like it gives you this crazy read on the chart. Like that guy Skinny Moon Hunter is where I got it from, and unfortunately Bitcoin is below the 314 EMA at the moment, and that traditionally, if you go back in time, anything above the 314 EMA, it looks great. Like Bitcoin bounces off it so much on the way up, but we have crossed underneath it.
So how do I put the 314
So if you
on
go
the chart?
into it's going to be in EMA, so indicators EMA.
I got a few EMAs already. Which
So
one?
yeah, moving average exponential will be the one, mate. So you're
Got
just on it there. Yeah, that's it. If you put that on and then change from 9 to 314 in input, the length, that's it. And if you kind of zoom out on the daily, that 314, keep going, like give yourself loads of data. That 314 is super interesting. Every time it goes above it, Bitcoin pops, it's like really good. And then it's been teasing to drop below it a few times. You see it's bounced off it a couple of times. And I
Yeah.
think that is something that I'm kind of looking at as well, is that 314 is we are now below it. And traditionally, if we break that far below it, I think it bounces off that and comes back down. And it uses that 314 as resistance. And I know it's crazy and it's just an
Yeah.
arbitrary number, but like the link between pi and charts and all that, and I'm kind of going a little bit off topic here, is like I just feel like that's, we use, I don't know, 921, all these different EMAs, they just feel like a little bit
Mhm.
arbitrary to me. Like 314 has got so many links into everything, like the cyclical nature of pi and all that malarkey. Like I really like it as an indicator, and unfortunately right now we're below it, and it just worries me a little bit, because if you go back to like the last cycle on Bitcoin and look when Bitcoin broke below the 314, it was like curtains.
Yeah. So you're basically saying we're
It's, if you look at that, yeah, that exact area you've just highlighted feels very familiar.
Yeah. And you know what? Sometimes, like, I actually do I XB by any chance
Sorry, I
on
lost you
Twitter.
there, mate. You broke up.
Oh, do you know Honey XBT on Twitter?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
So she actually has a very similar outlook herself.
Okay.
As you can see, like
Oh, right. Okay.
right
Yeah.
to exactly where we drew off. She's kind
Interesting.
of thinking,
Yeah.
okay, well maybe we pump back into this EMA and then we just completely sell it off and
Yeah.
GG's to 2026.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
I'm getting the sense that that's like the consensus view at this point.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, again, I'd love that if we go against consensus, that would be amazing. If you know, one of my biggest criticisms of myself is I say I'm like quite bearish when it comes to looking at Bitcoin charts, particularly with the use of that 314 EMA. But yeah, wouldn't it be lovely if we just went against what everyone is expecting and ran to a new all-time high in early 2026?
Yeah. Yeah.
In your opinion, though,
yeah.
sorry, mate, I was going to say, is that enough to bring people back to on-chain? Is 140k BTC enough?
You're gonna think you're gonna think I'm a crazy person for this.
Okay.
But I'm gonna zoom out on my chart here. Let me see if I still even. I'm pretty sure I still have it. No, I don't have it on this chart. But I had like all my on the stream. Like, we've talked about this many times. I'm 200k, bro. I'm 200k plus. So let me
Damn.
log
All right.
on. I know.
Yeah,
I'm
with you. Let's go.
And you're gonna tell me I'm even crazier because my time frame here would be like May 2026. Yeah, May 2026.
I mean, I would love that. I hope you're right. I really do. That's all I want. I've just noticed one of Franz's comments as well down here that he says Bones is 95% out the market now. He's bearish. Thanks, mate.
He's like being your biggest supporter, but biggest critic.
Yeah. I think he loves giving me some hassle online. I think is the polite way to say it.
No, dude, you need that. It keeps you humble. It keeps you humble.
Absolutely.
But yeah, man, look, it's been a great interview here so far.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you're out of the markets now. What will get you back in trading? Like, anything in particular that you're looking for?
If all of you guys start making money and I'm missing out and I'm coming back, I don't think it's not something I don't really know, mate. Like I'm not out. Like I'm absolutely not going to trade anymore. What I have been doing actually has been setting up some farming strategies in the last couple of days. I know you mentioned it a few weeks ago, Farm Tardio or whatever. I actually kind of I've never done any farming before, and I've just used that to kind of set up a few farming strategies to see if we can get any payouts in 2026. But in terms of like what will bring me back, I guess some good strength from Bitcoin. Any break above, for me, that 314 EMA to, that where we said we felt like Bitcoin may collapse, we're coming off that EMA. If we can get above that and we can hold it, and we have some good closes above the 314 and it looks like it's going to continue, then I'm going to be pretty bullish. And if that kind of coincides with your sort of thesis of early 2026 and we get something towards 200, then yeah, I mean, I'll be all in trying to bank some more sol.
Yeah, I think I have a feeling that I'll probably be off on the timing front, but I'm really we've been looking at this the last couple of weeks just about, and I might put out like a post about this at some point, but a lot like the 4-year cycle to me is dead.
Yes,
and
I agree with
what
that.
we have to do is prove that wrong. So
yeah,
to bring euphoria back into the market in a meaningful way, we need, one, a narrative to pump that forward. I think that narrative is going to be like ownership coins, ICM tokens, AI. Like that's going to be like, and of course, memes are still going to be there. Degens are going to degen always. But like that's from a narrative side. From a price side, what we need is to, in my opinion, is for us to prove the 4-year cycle wrong. So if we go here, we do as Honey XBT says, and we like basically, I'll go back up to the 3-day on the Bitcoin chart, and we basically pull a move like this, where we test the 314, right? On the daily, we test it one more time, and then we sell off. If we can test it, but let's say this is the let's say this is the line here, we test it, but then we break above it, hold, and then go. In my opinion, that would make a lot of people question.
I mean, that would be insane. You can see on the 314, and I don't want to keep banging on about this particular EMA. There's been a couple of times where it has tested dropping through and it's come back up, but they're only real small, like drops below it. This one is quite significant, and that's my only concern. And Franz is right. I don't want anyone to make any more money because I'm just bearish.
You know what? Like at the end of the day, I want to buy these dips, man. Like, so if we end up, going we retest these, we sell off into this bear flag, we retest these lows, we come up, and then we go again. Like, I'm gonna be a buyer like all throughout here. And honestly, I'm with you. DLMM is like one of my I love what they're doing. I knew from the moment I looked at it, I'm like, this is gonna cook, but this is gonna be a slow cook. So I have time to accumulate.
I don't know. Otter, Finance Otter, on X, again, the guy's got, I don't know, like 190 followers, but the dude is absolutely locked in. He was the guy that told me about it originally, and I think it was the first spaces they held that I listened to. I remember being at the gym and I thought, I'll just put it on and listen to this. And I thought I heard Slab speak about the coin and just the numbers. And I was like, it sounds like a stocks earning call. Like the guy knows his stuff, Anyway, Otto was basically saying a couple of days ago when I was speaking to about it, he's like, yeah, I'm happy to hold this for a few years. Like it might take that long. And this is going to be my first test of that theory. Like I have never held a coin that long. Let's see what happens if I do, Yeah.
And honestly, the market really hasn't given you a reason to hold these coins that long, right? Like at the end of the day, if you held Popcat or if you held Ondo, or like from anything it could be a meme, it could be a utility token. Tau, for example, is like down massively.
Yes.
I got that. I can pull that chart up just for an example. But you look at Tau on the weekly, and you realize, it got its massive run, but it never really recovered from that, right? Like,
no,
we're down what, like 70%, 60% from the highs.
Yeah.
So
it's going to take some sort of resurgence of AI as a narrative to really pump these. The thing is, mate, I mean, again, I know that we're in a bit of an echo chamber on Sol, but I'm like, who's trading these coins still? And obviously a lot of people are, because but I don't see, from my personal opinion, just the appetite for those older coins, and that is probably a huge failing on my part as a trader, because there's definitely money to be made there. But when you've got such a finite amount of time, like I'm kind of happy trading on Sol. Obviously it's not the best condition right now, but for me, the best releases, the best tech, the most interesting things do usually get released on Sol at the moment. So, I mean, I used to hold tons of DOT, tons of NEAR, like just long-term holds that just got absolutely tanked into the ground. And go back to what Judge, when he was like, mate, we're moving to Sol, I just sold them all and just took a bit of a leap of faith, converted everything to Sol there. Yeah, the NEAR chart, my goodness.
I mean, we're in this little consolidation like with
Yeah,
near, but man, this thing like you held these
yeah.
and
I
you're
well,
you're down
it,
90%. Holy crap.
yeah, I know it's crazy. Like the thing is, even before coming on to Sol, like I was like really into the dot ecosystem. I was like, Gavin Wood, like this guy's onto something. He's creating like a really cool coin here, and I was um, doing all sorts of like borrowing and lending on Polkadot in these different, like I think it was called Bifrost or something like that, and just the value of dot just never picked up. And again, I think it's because I think it's an inflationary token, so they're just always printing dot. I don't know
No
if that's
way.
changed recent. Yeah, it's
Seriously?
like, yeah, I
Oh
think
my
it started off as
God.
like a billion, and now it's up to like 1.2, 1.4. Again, don't quote me on those numbers. That's just off the top of my head, but I think it's inflationary. I don't know whether recently they've had a vote to change that, but while I was holding it, that was like the biggest issue is like it's inflationary, which kind of goes against everything that everyone in crypto stands for.
Yeah,
Um,
100%. The other thing I wanted to ask you about, so we got a sense of your strategy. We got a sense of kind of, why you're kind of taking a break from markets, which
yeah,
many traders are right now. And it's
yeah.
probably a good idea for most of us because, when markets actually do pick up, we'll be wanting a break. But and so we want to make sure we're not burnt out when
Yeah,
when
yeah,
this thing gets
absolutely.
started.
Yeah,
So we went through a lot of those things. What are you trading on? You mentioned you used Axiom, was it?
yeah. I actually moved to Axiom. I was just before that. I was just on Phantom using Jupiter, just trading on that, and then I realized like I saw lots of people using Axiom and these trading platforms, and although the fees are a little bit higher and they kind of that is potentially quite costly. Just having that visual for me personally, the visual profit and loss in the green right next to your positions is what again I think has been really important because that's allowed me to see live like okay, like I'm up maybe 5, 6, 700, 1K or whatever, like great, like I'll start skimming some profit off the top, whereas trading solely on Phantom through Jupiter or whatever, I never had that information available to me. So that has been had a positive impact moving to those platforms.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I'm using Padre. I've been using Padre since they first came out. I was actually using them when they came out on ETH back
Mm,
like in 2020, like early 2024, I believe.
yeah.
Yeah, like I've been using like Padre for like a year and a half now.
How'd you find
Um,
it?
Not gonna lie, I've always loved it a little bit more than Axiom.
Okay.
But I haven't used Axiom at the same time. So my
Yeah.
perspective on Axiom isn't the best. But
Mm,
basically, they have like the similar things that Axiom has, right? Like your watch list, your limit orders and stuff like that. They have like the trenches, which I think you guys call it meme scope.
yeah.
But like they have that. But what I really like is they have this. They've been coming out with like cool updates. So like they have like you can get pinged for anything. Like even during our call, like I get pinged when there are new launches. I get
All
pinged
right.
when
Okay.
there's stuff that hits my buy zone. You can like set
Mm,
an alert and it'll alert you on Telegram when a buy zone is hit. Um, or there's this thing called Market Lighthouse where it tells you about the total amount of trades, the total volume, tokens created, and it splits
yeah.
up volume by launch pad. So you can literally like come in and you can load up your Padre and you can look at like the Market Lighthouse and be like, all right, is today a good day or a bad day? And you can
Yeah.
measure that by how many tokens created, volume, etc.
This is something that I do have an interest in as well. It's just unfortunate I don't have the time to commit to it right now. Is new launches and trading fibs on retracers.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you're familiar with Mike 9862 or something like that.
No,
Um,
I never heard of him.
I've retweeted or reposted in the last couple of days, so it'd be really easy to find on my profile. One of his posts. Basically, this guy is like the dude is the goat. The app that he's got like 1,000 followers. No one knows who he is. Like I've been speaking to him in DMs for maybe a year or so, and there we go. This is the guy. Absolute like just number one, a genuinely good dude. Like is happy to spend time in DMs speaking to anyone, showing you his strategy. He will give you all the information that he's got on his strategy. But what he does, he uses fibs on retraces and order blocks to play high volume coins. And he is just uber good at what he does. So I think that is a really good tactic and a really good way to make money in this market, is following volume on any coin, particularly on Sol, but it could be a meme, it could be tech, it could be anything. Like, this guy has got a tried and tested method. He is exceedingly good at it, and I think he's been working really hard to like fine tune his skills. But the guy is cracked out his mind.
Yeah, I'm seeing. I also like using fibs on like memes or just anything with like on chain with high volume. Like
Yeah,
the retrace on, like we talked about this just yesterday on
yeah.
the
This
6-7 chart.
this is a tactic that Mike told me about a year ago. Like, again, takes a little bit more time because you need to be a lot more active to use it, but memes, everything, like the bounce from the 0716, I believe it is it, or 786, sorry, the bounce from a 786 on Sol is incredible. Like, it works a lot of the time, and if you can mix that with order blocks as well, like there's definitely some money to be made there. And I think you've just got to be prepared to, again, take profit. If you see a quick double, like, take it, particularly in a market like this where it's difficult to trade. I don't think Mike will mind me sort of talking him up, but he told me years ago that, like, I think his tactic is like basically making $500 a day. Like, he uses those fibs and those charts to do that. And I think once he's done that, he's done for the day. And I think he's pretty consistent with it.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna I'm gonna follow him, and I'm gonna add him to my list. Usually,
Yeah.
like, what I like to do is anytime I see like a new account, like I have this list here. I try not to like get too much above like 105, 110, because it becomes too noisy. But like 105 people, like I can follow them and kind of keep up with things.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna add him. I'm gonna be
He's
watching.
he genuinely is a stand-up guy, and like, he's taught me so much about like buying coins on retraces and stuff, that it's a really useful tactic, and something that I think everyone should use. Should sort of look to add that to your arsenal, your trading strategy. I think one of the things that, if you don't mind me kind of going off on a tangent, that me and myself and Em and Franz and stuff were talking about recently, is the fact that I personally don't buy into the fact that technical analysis doesn't work on low cap meme coins or low cap coins on Sol anymore. And a few of the guys have heard me say this, but I liken it to Call of Duty. That, back in COD 4 days, like, COD was maybe a bit easier, right? And like, everyone was a bit younger and no one had been playing much. Now, if you go on COD, there's people like jumping around corners and doing all sorts of crazy stuff. Like, the markets are, in my opinion, very similar to that. 5 years ago, or even 2 or 3 years ago, everyone was kind of new to it still. But right now, what people are doing, in my opinion, is they're trying to find an edge, right? And the edge is anything that they can do to help them earn money, they're going to do, aren't they? So things like technical analysis, fibs, all that, like, I think they're a lot more reliable than they ever have been before, because a lot more people are using them. A lot more people are setting limit orders based on all of this information. They're setting sell orders. So that naturally just increases the level that people are trading at, if that makes sense.
No, actually, that makes a lot of sense. I've actually had the same thought, because if we notice that in these markets, we also use like gamer like jargon, like, even like, look at this comment by friends, not even making calls anymore, just AFK. Like, everyone uses AFK in
away from keyboard. Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
literally keyboard, right? So a lot of times I think gamers and crypto traders like have a very similar mindset, mentality, or even just mental makeup to be able to manage markets. You kind of need to have like that gamer mentality. And I just find it interesting that you say that, because I've also gotten the sense that as these trading terminals come out, as you know, people use, like, I know on my trading terminal,
the standards just getting better. Like everyone is getting better. Like you have to be better. So you've got to use anything you can to try and give you that edge.
So what I've been doing is like, just like I would use on the like on the Bitcoin chart, like order blocks and stuff like that. I've been experimenting with doing that like on chain. So like on the 2-day chart, like I have like these bullish and bearish order blocks. Kind of
Again,
already.
That's what that Mike kind of is sort of into. I think he uses hourly order blocks or 15-minute order blocks to try and figure out where coins are going to land on retraces. So it's super similar stuff.
Yeah, he reminds me a lot of this other guy that I know, Donnie, that he's super like chartist and stuff like that. But for me, I've been, honestly, it's different for every chart for me, depending on, like, I look at the 6-7 chart, and like I like to chart stuff from a higher time frame going down to lower. So like I'll chart it on like a 12-hour, a 4-hour to get like structure. And then I'll go down to like an hourly, a 30-minute, a 15-minute to kind of eye entries, see where it is on the retrace, look for reversals. I remember Bones, bro. You were calling falling wedges for the longest time, and they always played out.
Mate,
Literally
that chart
because
pattern
of
has
you,
been,
I look for falling wedges.
mate, yeah, dude, that's a definite winner. I think for, again, you know, they play out because people see them, and they play out because people buy the bottom of a falling wedge because more people know what a falling wedge is. And it's this cyclical thing that we're in, where, you know, the more people that know about it, the more people buy the bottom of it, which then in turn makes the price pump, etc., etc. But yeah, the falling wedge, another absolute banger.
Dude, that literally has been playing out on. I wonder if have you posted about falling wedges? I'm sure you have.
I have a couple of like just sort of like tongue in cheek, like falling wedge guide, like for people complaining that certain plays haven't played out the way that they have. It's like, yeah, okay, you're like, sometimes you have to wait. You know, the falling wedge isn't going to immediately like pop.
Falling wedge.
There you go. That's it. There she is.
Like it's just been playing out so many times. But yeah, like I agree with you. You know, trading terminals, chart patterns, like people try to find an edge, and they're going to do that in whichever way they can. And the more people believe in the lines, the more the lines play out, right? Like self-fulfilling prophecy.
For sure.
Yeah, man. Look,
Chill,
it's been
I'm
a
so
great
sorry.
interview.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to shoot because my kids and stuff are getting ready for bed. My wife just popped her head in, and you know, I've been here. I really enjoyed it, mate. It's been great to chat. But yeah, I'm gonna have to shoot, I'm afraid.
No, you're good. I was actually just about to wrap up. I think it's
awesome.
A perfect place to stop here.
Yes, definitely.
We went through a ton. Any last words? Any last last things you want to leave the people with?
Not particularly, mate. Just get out there, and you got to try some things sometimes, haven't you, to succeed. And if it doesn't work out first time, just keep going. Don't stop, basically.
Don't stop.
Yeah.
Well, look,
that's it.
Bones, appreciate you coming.
Thank you very much for having me. It's been brilliant, mate.
Have you back.
Absolutely. Yeah, love it. Awesome. Thank you so much. Appreciate it, mate. Yeah, nice one, brother. Take care, mate.
All right.
Bye, buddy. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Awesome, man. Dude, love Bones. Great interview. We went through so much. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. I think for me, my favorite part of the interview was just talking about how things have evolved on chain, and the different like strategies that one might need to employ to be successful. And you know, one of those things, although it sounds very simple, but you know, it could be that, you know, making one SOL a day, making, you know, that point, taking those profits consistently. I think that's a very, very important point. And also taking a break, right? Knowing when to just, all right, I'm just going to stop. Like, I don't absolutely need to trade today. I can just chill, just wait for markets to to wait for markets to come back and be worth trading, right? So I love that interview with Bones. He had a ton of like helpful insights. So again, hopefully you guys enjoyed that. A King's mentality. I saw you said you enjoyed it as well. You said great points. So a GM to you. Appreciate you tuning in. Anything else you guys want to go through today? Like I said earlier, not going to be too long of a stream here, but we'll just kind of go through some charts. Let's see, anything that we would like to go through right now. I think to just wrap up, guys, I might just check in on CT real quick. Let's see what CT is talking about. I'm gonna let's go through, scan a little bit. We see kind of where things are. Looks like a lot of people are rejoicing over the Bitcoin pump today. Still not convinced with this pump. Honestly, I'm still not super convinced. Binance founder CZ says there may be a crypto super cycle in 2026. Come to think of it, Mirage says, come to think of it, it's funny how we were saying super cycle only 2 years into the 4-year cycle, and now that we're approaching super cycle 4+ years territory, everyone is convinced that it's over. Super cycle literally equals 4 years plus cycle. So we're still early. Yeah, that's actually a really good point. We've been calling for a super cycle for a long time, but like if a super cycle were to play out at some point, now would be the time. Now would be the time. Let's see. Let's see, the bear flag looking quite good here for Bitcoin. What are we talking about here? I think this is the first time green dotted line amounts to copious levels of liquidity waiting to be torn through. Gave you the context, endless exaggerated dip. Okay. So it looks like Donnie's still looking for 107. Donnie's a Chad. You guys should go follow him. Donnie Dicey. Honestly, the dude's he's been on top of calls this entire cycle. I met him maybe like 2 years ago at this point. But yeah, like not much. I've been seeing this meme. Have you guys been seeing this meme around a lot? This white whale meme. I've been seeing it on the timeline. Like there it is again, Dip Wheeler. Fellow fart coin Chad, the original fart coiner, fart coin GCR, as he dubs himself. Looks like he's interested in that meme too. Rate cuts are priced in. FOMC is priced in. So a lot of people are thinking that, with the rate cuts coming up this week, that we should just kind of chop a little bit, and then when we actually do announce the rate cut, then we'll kind of take off from there. Looks like Game is talking about solo. We'll check on that here in a second. But yeah, I'm not totally convinced just yet. Like I need to see like some solid strength in the market. Oh wow, look at this solo chart, guys. Man, another green box playing out. Going back to what we just discussed with Bones, like the strategies of charting on chain. So I don't know what you guys, if you guys see this, but you see this red candle right here. Actually, let me pull away the green box for a second. You see this red candle? So what I like to do with some of the way I draw my box out is I start with high time frame, right? 12-hour. And I looked at this. This was resistance. This turned into support. Well, this got flipped and then it got turned into support here. So what I like to do, especially with like, as I try to eye entries on chain, is I look for a high time frame support. In this case, the 12-hour is usually a pretty good, like 4 hours, sometimes 8 hours, but 12-hour daily. Those are all high time frame for on-chain tokens, depending on how much, depending on how long the token has been out for. But in this case, the 12-hour looks, it actually looks pretty good. You see, again, let me just draw this out a little bit. So we got resistance there, a flip there, and now we tested it as support here. And, now we're essentially testing that support one more time. So what made me draw out the green box was looking at number one, the order block, this red order block, the last down candle before an up move that broke market structure, right? So, so actually, let me do this. My bad, guys. Here we go. So the last down candle before an up move that broke market structure. So this was the last down candle, right? This was the up move. This was the up move that broke market structure. This was the up move that broke market structure. And what I like to do is find the order block that's also closest or somewhere near the support, the high time frame support. So we got the order block where this momentum upward above this support and resistance flip, where this uptrend originated, was right here at this this yellow arrow right here. So that's how I draw out my green boxes. Any thoughts on Lumen? Why we have this sell off? Yeah, Crypto Cuba. I'll review Lumen here in a second. I think that's a really good chart. I mean, from what I understand, like nothing is really wrong with it. But just the market is selling it off. But we can look into that here in just a moment. But that's really what I like to do with these these boxes, and that's why these boxes have been like pretty much playing out. Literally, I draw a green box. I set a limit order, and then based on based on fundamentals, like you always have to pay attention to like what's going on, the sentiment around the project. Is the team selling? Is there some FUD that will kind of indicate headwind or tailwind or momentum in one direction or another? But from just a purely TA standpoint, this is what I like to look for: high time frame support, last down candle before where the move upward originated, and then typically we might even see a reversion back to that area. And sometimes you got to be a little how can I say, patient to allow these setups to play out. But they've played out quite a bit. They've played out quite a bit. But let's look at Lumen. Yeah, let's see what's going on there. Lumen. I remember like this chart was like this was a few mil, and from what I understand, this is a pretty nice project, but it has just been like selling off aggressively. Is there a potential falling wedge here? Anytime there's a sell-off, this is like the first thing that I try to look for, is like a potential falling wedge. No, that is just way too aggressive of a sell-off. This makes me think that there's like some reason behind this. Yeah. There's no falling wedge with this thing. This thing is just being sold off. Let's look at a higher time frame real quick. To see, yeah, like this is just being sold off, man. So if anyone doesn't know, I believe Crypto Cuba was the project that moved from Heavendex over to Pump Fund, I believe. And one of the homies, Jones Ryder, was also pretty on Lumen as well. So let me pull his thread up, and that kind of gives us a bit of an idea of just catching up on what Lumen is. So here's the kind of info about Lumen. It's processed 40. So basically, you guys know about CLED, right? CLED kind of uses just data of all sorts, from your camera roll, data from movie scenes, from videos, from clips, from gaming clips, and all this stuff to train AI. Lumen is like a CLED, but for AI training data, or for I'm sorry, not AI training data, but for code. So AI, like Lumen is basically using is using code for training data. And so they process 40 million lines of code right? Distributed 36K in USDC rewards. They have over 2,000 contributors. They've been, integrated with PayAI and a few others. And so the lines look, I mean, the metrics look solid. They look amazing. And from my understanding, Lumen just continues to look good. From what I have been seeing, it's not there isn't a reason for the sell off other than, if you want to say Jeets, I guess. But yeah, so Lumen has great numbers. But it's basically a digital marketplace where software developers can sell their code to AI companies in a smart, anonymous way. So instead of AI companies scraping code from the internet, Lumen lets developers voluntarily contribute their work and get paid in USDC. So same thing as CLED, right? CLED, if you were to steal or use data that isn't licensed, you could get into legal trouble. Same thing, if AI companies use code that's technically not theirs, that could get them into legal trouble. And so the core value prop is, AI companies need high quality, legally compliant training data, while developers have that valuable code sitting unused in repositories. So Lumen creates the infrastructure to basically like unlock that, right? Unlock access to all of these unused repositories, which would unlock profits and rewards for developers, and at the same time would unlock this high quality data for AI companies. And in this thread here, we talk about a lot. The team is kind of where the most of the community rallied around. Far3XBT is this guy's name, but he's the founder of Lumen. 90 plus GitHub commits and consistent shipping, active shipping with major infrastructure milestones, GitHub integration, tokenomics overhaul, IRYS integration, PayAI automation. So obviously there's a ton here to read into. And so this is the context though. Projected growth of AI data market is, could be well over 13 billion by 2034. Code represents DNA of logic, uniquely valuable for AI reasoning models. So again, going after a big market, great project. The community is they love the developer. Like that's why this project was on Heavendex and it moved to Pump Fund, and their entire community came, and it did not skip a beat. In fact, when it first moved over to Pump Fund, as you can see on this chart, it was pumping for days on end. And even when it dipped, like the chart still looked fantastic. This looked like just normal consolidation. So not really sure why this is selling off. But I don't see anything that tells me this is like a fundamental sell-off, like something is broken. Um, you know, I don't know. I guess from what I see, I think a lot of people expected this to be instantly adopted by companies and whatnot, and so this could potentially be a dip to take advantage of. But what I would like to get more information on, which Crypto Kuba, if you have anything for me, let me know. But essentially, like, there isn't much of a reason for the sell-off, and if the dev is working on adoption of the platform, usage of the platform, I would love to see those kind of numbers. In fact, let me go to the uh, Twitter account. Let's see if there's anything that we can find real quick. Let's go to the Lumen Twitter account. Let's see if there's something we can find. All right, so the last update was on December 5th. So I believe that's probably a core piece of the sell-off. It's been, almost 5 days, and that's a pretty long time in crypto. Since they've last updated the Twitter. But honestly, looking at this, they're not like updating every day at the same time. It's every couple of days. Um, you know, this was the chart that we saw on Joan Ryder's tweet. So numbers are looking good. GitHub continues to be updated. The last update, we're currently expanding the bridge between our data supply and the demand side. 2 critical features are in development to unlock the marketplace: the data sandbox, a public searchable interface for our vector database. This will allow potential partners to inspect data, view AI scores, and verify the asset before acquiring in a smart, easier way. Request for data, RFD, a bounty system allowing the protocol to incentivize specific languages or topics based on market needs. We are basically turning a passive data set into an active and searchable product for anyone. Okay, so basically, the last update, Crypto Cuba thought I heard something. Nah, I haven't heard anything. Honestly, this is what I've been hearing, Crypto Cuba, is I've been hearing that there isn't a reason for the sell-off. Like, why is Lumen selling off this much? And I think I think this could potentially be an opportunity for Lumen, as bad as the chart is. And I have to do a little bit more digging to see kind of why that's the case. But you know, as long as, like, you know, the dev isn't selling, or the platform, there's nothing like fundamentally wrong with this project. I think I might be a buyer here. So I'm gonna take a closer look. I'm gonna take a closer look here at the chart and at the fundamentals, and see if there's, you know, see if there's anything worth anything noteworthy. But basically, the last update they gave a few days ago was them basically saying that, hey, we are building this data marketplace that unlocks this dormant code in repositories, and there is a demand for this code. And what we're doing is we're almost at the part where we're like creating that marketplace to unlock the supply of code and connect that with the demand from companies. So basically, they're saying their main product is being worked on. Their main product is being worked on. That was the last update that we got from them. So I don't really know why someone would sell off on that kind of news. That's actually, to me, kind of bullish news. Yeah, to me, that's actually pretty bullish. It tells me that, look, the main product is going to be worked on. So yeah, I don't know why anyone would, you know, I don't know why anyone would FUD that or would sell that. So yeah, that would be my main spiel here about Lumen. I'm gonna do a little bit more digging. Looks like we have something here. Let me see here. Let's see. All right, real quick, guys. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I believe that SOAR might have launched a new project. Let's see. Let me look on the SOAR. Let me look on the SOAR Twitter account. Let's talk about this real quick. Yesterday we talked about the new tokenomics with SOAR. We did the update on this. We covered that. We might even have Tom come on as well. But I believe there is a new launch on SOAR. So let's check the SOAR platform. Let me pull that up real quick. Let's check the SOAR platform, and I'll log in and see if there's anything noteworthy here. So let's see. I'll log in, put in my email. And let me log into my email real quick, and we can double check this because I want to just go on the sort platform itself and see what's up. Let me see. Okay, I am logged in to, but yeah, I think they did launch. I think they did launch. All right, so I am logged into Source platform. Let's look at the curated launches, and here we see AIM. Yeah, Morphist AI. So I don't know if you guys remember, but we had Morphist AI on. We had them on last week, and they talked all about their platform and what they're doing and what they plan to solve. And looks like they just launched. Let me look at the chart real quick. I want to pull the chart up on like a normal, because I don't think they have candlesticks, and I would much rather see this on candlesticks. So let me look real quick here on Mobi. So looking at Mobi, yeah, it looks like this just launched not too long ago. Let's look at the 5-minute. It's like we just got to do a 1-minute chart real quick. Holy crap. Yeah, this thing's kind of taking off a little bit, guys. And from what I understand, this is the new tokenomics. So I believe this is the real market cap, if I'm not mistaken. 390 is the real market cap, if I'm not mistaken. So this is a new launch. Let's take a look real quick. Let's take a look at the artifacts. So yeah, the real market cap 300K, pretty low. Morphist AI deck. We interviewed them last week, so we got a lot of information from them already. But let me just real quick just take a look at this and see what they got on the deck. But this is a really nice launch. So far, no signs of like, any massive like sniping action or anything like that. Seemed to be a pretty smooth launch here so far, guys. So I'm actually really, really impressed. Morphist AI executive summary. I'm waiting for this Morphist AI deck to load. That's really what I want. I want that to load up so we can take a look at the PDF and see what they have. I'm going to try loading it up one more time. Let's see. Here we go. Cool. Morphist AI. So this is the deck that they have loaded into the artifacts section. What we do, you can prompt all models. Actually, I'm gonna tell some of the homies about this. All right. So let's see here. What we do with Morphist, you can prompt all AI models. Your prompts and responses are stored locally, encrypted, easy to access, and yours forever. Search, filter, and access your entire AI conversation history in a single source of truth. Okay, cool. So let's see here. One subscription. And you have, so with one subscription, you basically have access to like all the AI models out there. The problem, AI conversations are scattered across multiple platforms. Users lose track of valuable insights and responses. No way to search through past AI interactions. Switching between different AI models is cumbersome. No knowledge base of personal multimodal AI history, and no guaranteed access to cloud-only content. So the solution, they basically provide a unified interface for all AI models that's fully encrypted, has a search feature, has a seamless model switching within a single app, and one subscription would basically grant you access to all of the models. Opportunity looks like 1 trillion is the TAM. And as far as like, users and stuff, we know pretty much everybody and their mom uses AI at this point. Um, so we know how big this is. Let's see here. So their nearest competitor is Galaxy.io. So let me look that up real quick. Galaxy.io valuation. Let's see if there's anything. That's Galaxy Digital. I want to see Galaxy.io. I want to see their valuation. Not really seeing it because it is Google is bringing up Galaxy Digital. Shout out to them. But basically, they have a subscription model that they can use. They have a B2B. They have a B2B sort of features that can be used by other businesses. They have an AI agent. They have AI agent infrastructure as well. So let's see here. Let's see. Okay. So yeah, I mean, looking good. We interviewed the team as well. They're experienced. They're battle tested. From what we know, Duke Jones, he has some experience in building in Web3, but not solely like not launching tokens or anything, but actually building products. So he's been a developer on that side. And from what we understand, Norbu, he's more on the traditional side of things as well. So, that's pretty much the overview here. I mean, it's a pretty simple kind of project, right? Like you're basically you have one interface that will give you access to all of the different models. So look, love Morphist AI. You guys can check out Morphist AI on our YouTube channel. We actually posted their segment there. We've posted the segment on our Twitter as well. So yeah, I mean, look, looking good. And also the chart is looking pretty fantastic as well. Looks like it hit almost I think it hit like almost 600. Oh, there you go. 650K. That's a 2x live on stream, by the way. That's crazy. So this thing looks like it's headed to millies, in my opinion. I mean, look, we know that all these projects that launch on SOAR, they're real companies, right? They're real companies that have they're not like, basement devs from Ethereum or anything like that. They're actual great projects, great teams, that build something real and have the kind of like real world adoption element, right? So yeah, looking really good here so far, guys. Anything else you guys see? Anything else you guys want to kind of go through right now? Let me know in the comments if there's any other projects that you want to take a look at. But let me see here real quick. Let's see here real quick. Looks like the CEO, Norbu Snow. Let's see here. Spent 2 decades designing and delivering large-scale digital products across AI, fintech, telecom, enterprise cloud infra. Let's see here. This is the another one of the artifacts that I'm looking into. So I just want to just dig a little bit here. He led the design and development of core platform components, including Holochain, App Store, Launcher, Runtime, Scaffolding, CLI. He was the technical product manager at Dashboard.earth. He previously held product and engineering leadership roles at Good Money and Equinix, where he led cross-functional teams. So again, like these aren't, and my bad, I didn't have this zoomed in for you guys, but this is kind of just a list of experience that he had. And as you can see, he's worked with, a lot. He has a pretty vast background in, just IRL. So looking really good. Love the new SOAR launch. Love the team behind it. And again, it's a very like straightforward offering. You get multiple, you get access to multiple models through one model. I mean, through one interface, right? So something to be aware of there. Looking good here on the SOAR platform. And as you can see with the new SOAR tokenomics, the real market cap should be on stuff like Dex Screener and stuff like that. So actually, real quick, I'm going to show you guys just real quick. I'm actually going to show you guys something on Dex Screener, because before you see here on the right hand side, maybe you can't see it as good. Maybe I can zoom in a little bit here. But on the right-hand side here, you see FDV 542, market cap is 577, basically a little around 600K. This is why SOAR launches didn't have that discovery as they did before, because this would say what it says here. That FDV would say 8 million. 8.7 million. That's exactly what it would say before. It would say 8 million, and people are like, oh man, this just launched. It's already at 8 million. Oh my goodness. Not realizing that it's well under that valuation. So now when you go to platforms like Dex Screener, or if you go to platforms like Mobi, for example, you see on the right-hand side here, it's 600K. You see the real market cap, and that gives people an idea of, exactly what valuation this is. And it's not like people going to be like, oh man, like it's already too high, I'm not going to buy it. Like, actually now they have the real representation on chain. So looking good here, guys. Looking good. Great launch so far. Price action looks amazing. It's basically like, I mean, look at this. Look at this. I don't know if you want to call this vertical accumulation or what, but this thing looks actually looks really solid. Look at that. I mean, of course, that's on the minute chart, but yeah, that looks actually pretty solid. So awesome. Outside of that, what else do you guys want to get into? Anything else? Anything else we want to touch base on? Let's see here. Let's see. Anything else we'd like to touch base on? Let's see. I think that's it for me, guys. We've gone through quite a bit. We've gone through the new SOAR launch. Had an amazing interview with Bones earlier today. Should have some more coming up later on this week. But yeah, let me know if there's anything else you guys want to go through. But so far, so good. We pretty much got, everything that we got a lot, in terms of value out of today's stream. But appreciate you guys for tuning in today. We're at basically the 2.5 hour mark here. So I think this is a great place to call it. Man, look at this price action on AIM. Looking fantastic. This is definitely headed for millions in market cap here. So awesome. But yeah, looking good, guys. Look, appreciate you guys tuning in today. It's been a fantastic stream here so far. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. Outside of that, again, tomorrow is Met Dobby, so expect the streams are going to be wild. So you want to just follow the MCG account at MCG Live. You want to follow the main account to be notified of when we go live. The rest of this week is going to be a little bit sporadic here, so bear with us as we take on Met Dobby. And real quick, I'm going to share my screen. Bang. So here is the main account. You want to follow us, turn on notifications to get notified for when we go live. We got the team going out there in Met Dhabi. They'll be doing some streams from Met Dhabi here pretty soon. But look, love you guys, appreciate you guys. Follow the main account. We'll see you guys sporadically throughout the next week. So looking forward to spending some time with you guys. Outside of that, you guys enjoy the rest of the day. Hope you enjoyed today's stream. We'll see you guys later in the week. Peace.